WBN balloon project scheduled for next weekend. And let's go around the room and introduce ourselves and our function. Start over here.
Hello, my name is Rick, M0KKZ, and I'm in charge of tracking and recovery of our payload. Hopefully we'll find it.
I'm Dave, N0HZY. I'm in charge of nothing.
One of the few.
Ron Rannick, M0IVN, Media Relations for this project. I'll be coordinating communications between what we're doing and the media, who will hopefully be reporting on it in a fashion that can be understood by the layperson.
And favorable, too.
And favorable, too.
All right.
Eileen.
Hi, I'm Eileen Arlagast, WD0DGL. We're doing the net control for this fun fiasco.
Hi, Dave Klingerman, W6OAL, spacecraft integration. Flunkyism, anything else that comes up that needs attention to.
K0YUK Merle, charge of balloon, helium, that's good stuff.
John Bergstrom, November 52356. We'll be flying one of the chase planes.
Herb Kroll, KC0TR. I'll have the on-site camera.
And N0GUT, Sue Crabtree, net control backup.
Very good.
Episode WB0TUB, and I'm in charge of public affairs.
The spacecraft itself is made of very low-density styrofoam and covered with tinfoil and glued in place with some non-penetrating type of glue. Let's see where to start. Let's start with the power supply. The lithium battery is down here, 15 volts at 7.5 amp hours. And of course we haven't hooked that up yet. These are the leads. For that will go over here to the bus, the main voltage bus, and then coming out of that bus, we take the power from here up to our ground power spacecraft switch, and up here we have terminals where we can apply ground power in order to conserve battery while we're doing a checkout just prior to launch. And then as we get ready to launch, we'll go to spacecraft power, and that will bring the voltage from the battery through the switch back down here to this bus, and then out to the wiring that we have here. The 2-meter transmitter is pretty much hidden down under here. The telemetry package also is rather hidden. It's up in here. This is the video IDR board. This is the video transmitter. This is the audio IDR for the 2-meter transmitter that's down in here. And I believe that is the whole package. We didn't mount the camera because of setting the thing. We didn't want to set it on the lens. The camera will be mounted right on the bottom. This is the audio, or the video from the camera. And then the camera power will come up through a small hole here on the side, and the power goes into the camera in an offset configuration, so the hole for it will be just down through here.
Do you have the camera you could show us?
No, I didn't see any reason to bring the camera. It's a little 1 by 2 by 3 inch package, a little CCD. Black and white.
Since that's mounting on the outside, what kind of thermal?
Well, put the same thermal blanket material over the camera while it's on the bottom to keep the electronics within the camera nice and warm. It's the 2-meter antenna. We elected not to go with the J antenna because of weight. This is out of the 2-meter transmitter up to the quarter wave. The spacecraft itself will afford us enough of a ground plane to have a good visual and get the power out. We have 0.6 of a watt out on the 2-meter transmitter. We have 1.5 watt peak on on our video transmitter, and then that will come out to the little wheel. The American flag is our stabilizer. As this is lifted by this tether, we want to try to keep the camera from spinning. We have seen some balloon launches where the spacecraft did some horrendous spinning, so we're going to try to negate that a little bit by having a stabilizer of sorts, where this will trail the balloon being here, and hopefully this will be enough of a drag that will stabilize the camera, keep it, or stabilize the spacecraft and keep the camera looking down. According to my plan, we seem to be on schedule, within budget, and just rather than have everything hooked up right now, there's a couple more things like the telemetry package is not in a blanket yet. We do need a timer. I had to enlist some help in the building of a timer, kind of a last-minute thing we didn't know that we were going to have. We thought that the timer was on the video ID board. It was not. So we have to build a timer. And we have several little nooks and crannies here that a timer on about a 2x2 or 2x3 inch board can fit in. So just a simple 555 driving a transistor in order to shift, actually it'll kill power for 3 minutes so we can have live video, and then with the asymmetry of the square wave, when we turn the transistor off, we'll have the video board come up and give us 4 frames of video for 40 seconds.
We can cut that down to two frames if we want it.
Want to, I don't.
Is it hooked up, the video board, to the transmitter?
Yeah, everything's
I mean,
hooked up. Yeah.
Is it able? Are we able to see it?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll be able to see it. Matter of fact,
Let's do that in a moment.
Just to see what the signal is for.
because, and then this is the third one.
Right. Ah, this is great.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
See, I don't have the telemetry unit hooked in. That's the white wire where the telemetry will go into the subcarrier on the video channel.
How much distance are we looking for?
One.
Do we have the pick
Denver,
this up?
Colorado.
Up to a
450
I
miles?
think I
Balloon,
calculated
too.
300 miles for slant range
300?
Is that going to be the
with the
maximum?
power we have. Of course, if somebody has a moonbound station, they could probably see it at 500 miles.
Is that a tape you're running now?
No, that's the video ID board.
That's what will be
Oh, I
transmitted
see.
down from that board. It's on a little prom. Isn't that neat? I think it's great.
This is live. This is live video from
Send them a program and he did the graphics, or
Sometimes.
did you
Payload,
do the graphics
yes.
and send it to him on
I did the tub graphics and sent it to him, and but all the rest stuff he did. But it looked like he used pretty well what I used, but it looked like he might have scanned it. Yeah, even my imperfection on the bottom of the tub is in there. Yeah.
Oh, no, a bent tub. Heaven forbid.
So he copied it pretty well, pretty close. And
Nice graphics.
so the CW beacon, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
From there?
Yeah. That's the 2-meter beacon on 147, 555. Uh-oh, all the Fox centers in Denver are probably like
No, it's Fox Center.
And it says DE, WB0TUB, WBN, ATV balloon. BA balloon.
So that's what they're going to be tracking in the
This will be on like 40 seconds, and then we're going to go to live camera for 3 minutes.
The 2 meter will be on all the time. You'll constantly have the ID from on 2 meters.
Very good.
Close.
I'm impressed.
Wait. Okay.
If you're close enough to it with the aircraft, we'll show you what else you can hear.
Oh yeah.
Too close.
Yeah, definitely. If you can hear this, you got big problems with your windshield.
Who did the graphics, Jack?
WBØTUB. It's on one of his little boards that he sells for about $100.
He did good. We
Yeah.
need to send him.
That's great.
What do we got there, Dave?
That's the audio,
The audio beacon. huh?
audio tracker. When the planes get close enough, they can track it by ear.
You want to turn your ATV transmitter on again?
Yeah. Wait a second. Point at that, Dave. Where is that physically located?
in the back.
That device is on the back of the spacecraft.
Oh, okay. Well done.
Oh, we did that. We chose to put that on there because if it were to land in a tree, in a ravine, in a tall field, although the corn is cut.
The guys that are going out after this, if it landed in a hole and slid down 50 feet, Warren would find it
Okay.
in 20 minutes.
19th of November, 1990, just a couple minutes past 9 o'clock in the morning, and we couldn't ask for better weather for today's Western Vision Network balloon launch. The sky is almost clear. There's a little bit of real high cloudiness at about 30,000 feet, no breeze, and I think the weatherman and Mother Nature have cooperated beautifully for today's launch. The actual launch itself, it's slated for 9:30 this morning, just a little over 25 minutes from now, and all is going on schedule. And in fact, if anything, we're probably just a few minutes ahead of schedule with the balloon fill. Over here, Herm KC00TR has a setup to relay activities live through the Western Vision Network repeater, and it includes a video camera and a 70-centimeter transmitter to let the pictures go from here through the repeater for the benefit of those who haven't been able to make it down here. Although the turnout that we see with the size of the crowd is pretty good, and we expect a few more to show up before the actual launch this morning at 9:30. Just a bit to the right of that, closer to the camera, you can see the tracking antennas that will be used this morning to try to pick up the signals from the balloon as it ascends and descends. Included on that are AAØP by Armstrong rotor for 70 centimeters and 2 meters to pick up both the TV signal and the 2-meter beacon. Behind that, you can see the balloon being filled up, And in between the two, there's a 23 centimeter Yagi picking up the output of the repeater for the benefit of the crowd this morning. Filling process is continuing. They just completed a pressure and a leak test, and all is okay. The balloon will be inflated to a final diameter of about 6 feet before it's released to the heavens and sent to the edge of space. The payload package itself is off a bit to the right of that on the tables under the pavilion roof, and the final payload tests are being conducted as we speak this morning, including a checkout of the parachute and a final verification of the operation of the equipment inside the payload package. At the last minute, we were able to install a 10-meter beacon in the package because we did have some room left over in the package as far as weight's concerned. So we'll be transmitting signals from the balloon today on 10 meters at 28.8 megahertz. That will be a CW beacon. At 2 meters at 147.555 megahertz, which also will be a CW beacon. And on 70 centimeters, we'll be transmitting live video, 426.25 megahertz. That signal will be relaying a combination of a video ID board as well as live video from a small camera that's part of the payload package. And this whole thing is going to launch in about 25 minutes from now. So far, Murphy has left us alone this morning, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed and anticipate that everything's going to go without a hitch.
Inflated the balloon to 6 pounds of lift, and we're now tying it off and going to secure the end. But it's to the proper inflation right now.
Okay, you want to grab the screwdriver over there?
And I don't know if you wanted reports on the beacons, but I'm on Spokesville and Gun Club Road, and I do receive the beacons. Please stand by just a moment. I'll come right back to you. As I said, informed we are AAØP, net control for the Western Vision Network helium balloon project this morning, and we do have a liftoff.
Almost.
Okay, clear us on. One more time.
Okay, we'll let you go.
I got a little bit distracted.
Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? We could float among the stars together, you and I. Oh, we can fly up and away, my beautiful balloon.
pie-shaped formation that you see is baseball diamonds right near the launch point. If you'll watch, you can see those quite often all the way, quite a distance of the way during ascent. Nice shot of Jefferson County and some of the reservoirs in the area, and in a moment we'll be able to see the beginnings of Englewood and Littleton. Notice that every now and again you can still see the pie-shaped formation from the launch point. The altitude at this point is about 12,000 feet. These are the IDers. The quick flash is the ID screen that the IDer board aboard the spacecraft is flashing back to Earth. Foreshortened the trip to altitude. Watch closely in the next few moments and you'll see when the balloon bursts, the payload package starts tumbling, and you will notice that from time to time you'll be able to see flashes of the curvature of the Earth when we swing by the horizon. Watch closely, it'll be coming up in just a very few moments. for the curvature of the Earth. See it there. Again there. Wild ride. There is very little atmosphere at 97,000 feet, so the package tumbles mercilessly until we have enough atmosphere that the parachute can grab a hold and slow our descent. The trip up to altitude was about 1,000 feet per minute rate of rise. The trip back down is about twice that fast, about 2,000 feet per minute. Notice the circular shaped objects down there. Those are irrigation circles out in eastern Colorado. We're now about 130 miles east of Denver, or rather the balloon is, and at about 50,000 feet at this particular point. Keep an eye on those formations down below and you'll be able to follow those all the way down. The split circle you see in the center of your screen, that's about 1/4 of a mile from where the balloon actually landed. And this was the landmark we used in order to find the balloon. The audio heard at this time is the transponder downlink, 400 baud, and that's on the subcarrier of the video, and that is giving our telemetry information, altitude, temperature of the outside air, and also of the package.
We couldn't hear the 10-meter beacon. The airplane, W0UA, came back out, and after he flew around a while, he heard the 10-meter beacon. He found out that if he was just a mile away from it, he couldn't hear it. But when he got right over the top of it, he knew he was close, and we started closing in on him. And once we got to where we could see the airplane, it looked like it was going to be out in the middle of a big field, and obviously no good way to get there. So several of us covered about 3 sides and finally found a way in. Actually stopped and talked to one of the ranchers out there, and he gave us a guided tour right down around the corner and through somebody's gate and right out into the field, so it really helped out.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Bob, WB4ETT.
And I'm Ed, KA0ZAS. We were the second vehicle, or one of the 2 vehicles that hit there at the same time.
And I'm Greg, K0ELM, third vehicle in.
I'm Ed, N0MHU, and I was with Ed, ZAS.
Very good.
Well, we found that when we got about a mile away, we could hear the 10-meter beacon. And then about 100 yards or less, we could hear the 2-meter beacon. And luckily it was still on because it was getting dark and we were able to DF with the 2-meter gear right up to it. We stopped about 20 feet from it and Ed's bunch looked over there and got a visual on it.
I might add something. This
Give him hands.
This 10-meter dipole makes the excavation.
Put a hat on.
This 10-meter dipole was stretched out on the ground, lying right down on the ground. And my first impression when I walked up and saw this thing was here was an 0.8 of a watt transmitter with the antenna wire right down on the ground, and people all over the country were receiving it weak via Skywave. And I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
It was loud in New Hampshire.
Okay, and that's how the payload was sitting when you recovered it?
Sure is.
It was stretched out.
Well, yes.
Well, right.
The payload was to the east, and the parachute and what was left of the balloon were to the west, which was kind of opposite what we thought we'd find. It looks like there might have been some wind on the ground coming back toward the west rather than the prevailing eastward.
Okay.
As you can see, the 2-meter antenna is bent at a right angle, or more than a right angle.
Hold it up and show us, Bob.
Right where it comes out of the payload, 2-meter antenna was bent 90 degree, and then had a 45-degree dog leg in it. And in addition to that, it was tucked up underneath the aluminum packaging as it was laying on the ground. So it's no wonder we couldn't hear the 2-meter beacon.
Well, put your hats on. Applause for the
Okay, my name's Tim, WB0TUB, and I was in the airplane and I spotted it first.